Some of you right now are standing at the edge of your breaking point. Life has hit you harder than you ever imagined, and the weight feels unbearable. But what if this breaking point isn't the end? What if it's the beginning? What if this pain you're facing is the very fire that will shape your strength? Your breaking point can be your turning point. Challenges don't have to end you. They can shape you into greatness. When life brings you to the edge, when the pain feels too heavy to carry, when the storms seem endless, that very moment can become the foundation of your strength. Most people see their breaking point as defeat, as a sign that they have reached the end of their journey. But the truth is, the breaking point is where transformation begins. It is where you discover what you are really made of. Pressure reveals strength. Pain unlocks hidden potential. Struggle forces you to rise to levels you never thought possible. What feels like the end may actually be the beginning of a new version of you, stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. Every great story of success has a breaking point. Every person who has achieved something remarkable has faced moments where they felt like giving up. They too were pushed to their knees by hardship, disappointment, and failure. Yet, instead of allowing those moments to destroy them, they chose to rise. They turned their breaking point into a turning point. They refused to let the pain define them, and instead used it as fuel to create a new chapter of their lives. This is the choice you have as well. You may not control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. You can decide that the moment you break will not be the moment you quit. It will be the moment you rise with more determination than ever before. Think of your struggles as the weight in a gym. At first, it feels unbearable, but the very act of lifting against that resistance is what builds your strength. In the same way, life's challenges are shaping you. They are not there to crush you. They are there to mold you into someone who can carry greater responsibility, achieve higher goals, and handle bigger blessings. The pressure you feel today is preparing you for the future you prayed for. Without resistance, you cannot grow. Without challenges, you cannot discover the depth of your courage. Without pain, you cannot develop resilience. The breaking point also forces clarity. When everything falls apart, you begin to see what truly matters. You stop chasing temporary things and start holding on to the deeper reasons that give life meaning. You realize that material possessions cannot carry you through the storm, but love, purpose, and faith can. You find out that you are not driven by what you can get, but by who you can become and what you can give. The breaking point strips away the unnecessary so you can rebuild with what truly counts. You may feel like you are at the lowest place of your life right now, but even in the lowest valley, seeds are planted. Growth happens in the dark before it breaks into the light. What you see as the end is simply preparation for a new beginning. Just as steel is forged in fire and diamonds are formed under pressure, your soul is being refined through this trial. One day you will look back and realize that the very moment you thought was breaking you was actually building you. Do not despise your breaking point. Embrace it, for it is teaching you lessons no comfort zone ever could. It is sharpening your vision, testing your will, and strengthening your spirit. Every tear, every sleepless night, every setback is carving out the person you are destined to become. The breaking point is proof that you are alive, that you are fighting, that you still have more inside you than the world has seen. It is proof that greatness is waiting on the other side of your pain. So, when you feel crushed under the weight of life, remind yourself this is not the end. This is the turning point. This is where strength is born. This is where faith is proven. This is where warriors are made. Let your breaking point be the fire that awakens your greatness. Rise from the ashes of your struggle and declare that you will not be defeated. Stand tall even when it hurts, and believe that your story is far from over. Because the truth is, your breaking point is not your destruction, it is your transformation. Choice is everything. You can either give up or rise stronger when life knocks you down. Every person alive faces moments when life hits harder than expected. No matter how careful you are, no matter how much you prepare, there will be times when circumstances feel overwhelming. You lose people you thought would always stay. You face failure after working tirelessly for success. You encounter setbacks that shake your confidence and make you question your path. In those moments, the natural impulse is to collapse, to give in, to believe that maybe it isn't worth continuing. Yet, the truth is that the outcome of those moments does not depend on the situation itself, but on the decision you make. You cannot always choose what happens to you, but you can always choose how you respond. That choice is the key that determines whether you stay down or rise stronger. When life knocks you down, you stand at a crossroads. One path is giving up, surrendering to the pain, and letting circumstances define your future. The other path is rising, refusing to stay defeated, and making the decision that you will not be broken. This choice is not easy. It requires courage, determination, and an inner strength that only hardship can reveal, but it is always within your reach. even in your weakest hour, you still have the power to choose. That decision shapes your destiny more than anything else. Many people think success belongs to the most talented or the most fortunate. But the truth is success belongs to those who make the choice to keep going, even when everything inside them says to quit. Think about the stories of great achievers, leaders and fighters. None of them lived without pain or loss. Every one of them had moments of despair when it felt easier to walk away. What set them apart was not luck or a perfect path. It was the choice to keep moving forward. They decided that giving up was not an option. And that decision gave them the strength to rise from failures, to learn from mistakes, and to use pain as a teacher rather than an enemy. This is the same power you have. The decision is yours. Will you let the hit define you, or will you rise from it stronger? Life's punches are inevitable. You cannot live without encountering disappointment. But each time you get knocked down, you are presented with the opportunity to grow. Pain either makes you bitter or makes you better. Defeat either breaks you or builds you. The difference is always your choice. The world will try to convince you that circumstances decide your future, but your future is written by the choices you make when everything seems against you. Choosing to rise is the act of reclaiming your power. It is refusing to let your circumstances write your story. It is standing up and saying, I decide how this ends. Sometimes rising stronger doesn't mean immediate victory. It may mean taking one small step when your legs feel too weak to walk. It may mean holding on to hope when your heart is tired of believing. It may mean trying again tomorrow even though today feels like failure. Strength is not always loud or visible. Sometimes it is the quiet, unseen decision to keep fighting when no one is watching. But each choice to rise adds up, and over time it transforms who you are. The habit of rising after every fall makes you unstoppable. The beauty of choice is that it gives meaning to struggle. If everything were easy, if no resistance existed, then rising would mean nothing. But because hardship is real, because pain is heavy, choosing to rise carries incredible power. Every time you make that choice, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than the circumstances, stronger than the doubts, stronger than the fear that tries to hold you down. And as you continue to choose resilience over surrender, you build a character that nothing can break. So, when life knocks you down, pause and remember this truth: you are not powerless. The hit may hurt, the setback may shake you, but the choice is still yours. Will you give up and let life defeat you? Or will you rise stronger and let life refine you? Choose to rise. Choose to fight. Choose to become more powerful through your pain. In the end, it is not the knockdown that defines you. It is the choice you make afterward. Find a deeper reason to fight. Material goals won't keep you going, but love, purpose, and legacy will. When life tests you, when the obstacles pile up and exhaustion creeps in, it is easy to lose motivation if all you are chasing are surface-level rewards. Cars, houses, money, or status may feel exciting for a moment, but when real storms hit, those things are not enough to keep you moving. They do not comfort you at night when you feel broken. They do not whisper encouragement when your heart is heavy. They cannot give you the strength to rise when every part of you wants to give up. What carries you through those dark moments is a deeper reason. A purpose rooted in love, meaning, and the desire to leave behind something greater than yourself. People often mistake ambition for purpose. Ambition wants achievement, but purpose wants impact. Ambition craves recognition, but purpose seeks contribution. When your fight is tied to something larger than you, quitting no longer feels like an option. Think of a parent who pushes through exhaustion to provide for their child. Think of a teacher who keeps showing up for students even when resources are scarce. Think of a dreamer who keeps creating despite rejection, because their vision is meant to inspire others. These are not people who fight because of trophies or applause. They fight because their why runs deeper than material gain. Love drives them. Legacy fuels them. Purpose strengthens them. The truth is, life will always test the depth of your reason. If your goals are shallow, you will abandon them at the first sign of struggle. But if your goals are built on love, on meaning, and on something that matters beyond your comfort, you will find a way forward no matter how hard it gets. A person who fights for survival will always outlast a person who fights only for status. A person who fights for family will endure pain that money alone could never justify. A person who fights for purpose will walk through fire if it means fulfilling the calling on their life. Your deeper reason is the anchor that keeps you steady when storms rage. It reminds you why you started. It gives you strength when your body feels weak. It whispers to you that what you are going through is worth it. And it creates resilience, because when your fight is about something more meaningful than yourself, you can withstand almost anything. This is why some of the greatest leaders, innovators, and visionaries kept moving forward even when success seemed impossible. They had a reason that went beyond themselves. They wanted to make a difference. They wanted to serve, to inspire, to love, to create change. That reason became the fire that kept them alive through the coldest nights of struggle. When you fight for a deeper reason, setbacks transform into lessons instead of dead ends. Pain becomes a teacher instead of a prison. Failure becomes a stepping stone instead of a final chapter. Every challenge feels purposeful, because you know what you are enduring is tied to something greater. And this is the power of legacy. Understanding that your fight is not just about what you gain, but about what you leave behind. People may forget the material things you once owned, but they will never forget the love you gave, the values you stood for, or the impact you made. That is why legacy outlives everything else. So, ask yourself, why are you fighting? If your answer is shallow, dig deeper. Look for the people who depend on you, the values that guide you, the calling that burns in your heart. When your fight is about love, purpose, and legacy, no obstacle can permanently hold you down. You may stumble, but you will rise again. You may feel pain, but it will not stop you. You may face defeat, but you will return stronger, because your reason is greater than your fear. Life is not about how much you collected, but about how much you contributed. It is not about how high you climb for yourself, but how far you lifted others along the way. A deeper reason transforms struggle into strength, and sacrifice into victory. Let your fight be about love. Let it be about purpose. Let it be about legacy. Because when your reason is unshakable, your spirit becomes unstoppable. Adversity builds true character. Every hardship is a chance to demand more from life and from yourself. We often dream of a life without pain, without obstacles, without setbacks. But the reality is, if life were always easy, we would never grow. Comfort does not create strength. Ease does not shape resilience. True character is formed only when life presses against you, when the weight feels too heavy, and you are forced to dig deeper than you ever thought possible. Adversity strips away the surface and exposes who you really are. It reveals your patience, your courage, your faith, and your determination. The moments that break others can become the moments that define you, if you choose to see hardship not as punishment, but as an invitation to rise higher. Think about the strongest people you admire. None of them were shaped by comfort. They were molded by trials. They endured rejection, loss, failure, and pain. But instead of allowing those experiences to destroy them, they used adversity as training ground. Each battle strengthened their character. Each storm taught them resilience. Each setback reminded them that they could endure more than they imagined. This is the hidden gift of adversity. It demands growth. It refuses to let you stay small. It pushes you to face your weaknesses, confront your fears, and demand more from yourself than you ever thought possible. When hardship arrives, you always have two choices: complain about it or grow from it. The first path keeps you stuck in self-pity, waiting for life to change. The second path transforms you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. Adversity does not hand you victory, but it gives you the chance to earn it. Every time you rise from a challenge, your inner strength expands. You discover that pain cannot break you unless you allow it to. You realize that disappointment is temporary, but resilience is permanent. You understand that character is not built in moments of ease, but in moments of resistance. The truth is, adversity is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It teaches patience when progress feels slow. It teaches discipline when distractions tempt you to quit. It teaches humility when pride blinds you. And most importantly, it teaches gratitude when you finally break through and see how far you've come. These lessons cannot be learned in comfort. They are only taught in the furnace of struggle. That is why the greatest victories always follow the hardest battles. The fire you face today is shaping the steel you will need for tomorrow. Adversity also exposes the difference between desire and commitment. Many people say they want success, but when difficulty arrives, they fold. They want the reward, but not the challenge that comes with it. True commitment is proven in adversity. It is easy to believe in your dreams when everything is going right. But when doors close, when friends walk away, when failure knocks you down, your response in that moment reveals your real character. Do you give up, or do you rise with even more determination? Do you let the setbacks silence you, or do you demand more from yourself and push forward anyway? The choice you make reveals who you are becoming. Every hardship you face is an opportunity to grow into the person your future requires. If life gave you everything easily, you would not be prepared for the weight of success. Struggles prepare you for greater responsibility. Challenges equip you with wisdom. Failures make you adaptable. Without adversity, your dreams would crush you because you would not have the strength to carry them. But with adversity, you are trained, refined, and strengthened so that when the breakthrough comes, you can handle it with maturity and courage. So, the next time you face a setback, remember, this is not the end. It is the shaping ground of your character. It is the invitation to demand more from life and from yourself. Instead of asking, why me? Ask, what is this teaching me? How can I grow from this? How can I rise stronger? If you embrace adversity with this mindset, you will never leave a battle empty-handed. You will walk away with new strength, new wisdom, and a deeper sense of who you are. In the end, adversity is the greatest sculptor of character. It chisels away weakness and reveals strength. It strips away excuses and reveals resilience. It removes fear and reveals courage. Do not run from it. Do not resent it. Embrace it as the process that is building you into someone unstoppable. Because when adversity comes, it is not here to destroy you. It is here to show you the greatness that already lives within you. Struggles have a way of breaking us down, but they also hold the potential to lift us higher than we ever imagined. Every setback, every disappointment, every painful chapter of your life carries within it the seed of a comeback. The truth is, your struggles can become your greatest victories if you choose to see them not as barriers but as stepping stones. When life breaks you, it is not meant to leave you shattered forever. It is giving you the opportunity to rebuild. And when you rebuild, you don't put yourself back together in the same way you were before. You come back stronger, smarter, and tougher than ever. Think about a diamond is formed under extreme pressure. Steel becomes unbreakable only after going through fire. In the same way, your struggles refine you, sharpen you, and prepare you for the life you are meant to live. But too often, people let their hardships define them in a negative way. They carry the weight of failure, heartbreak, or loss as if it is the end of their story. What they fail to see is that the very pain that crushed them has the power to become the foundation of their greatest achievements. Struggle is not the enemy. It is the training ground where strength is built. When you are in the middle of a storm, it feels like the world is against you. You wonder if you will ever get out of it. But storms do not come to stay, they come to pass. And when they pass, they leave behind wisdom, clarity, and resilience that no easy season of life could ever teach you. Struggles strip away your illusions, force you to face your truth, and reveal what you are truly capable of. The scars you carry are not signs of weakness. They are marks of survival, proof that you endured, and reminders that you are stronger than you once believed. Every break you experience is an invitation to rebuild, and in that rebuilding you gain power. You learn patience, you learn discipline, and you discover strengths you never knew you had. You become wiser in your choices, sharper in your decisions, and more grounded in your values. Struggles teach you to stop chasing what doesn't matter and start holding on to what truly does. They give you the kind of vision and gratitude that only comes from walking through darkness and finding your way back to the light. Many of the greatest success stories were born out of pain. The inventors, leaders, and visionaries we admire today weren't spared from hardship. In fact, it was often their greatest failures that unlocked their biggest breakthroughs. They used their setbacks as fuel, their rejections as motivation, and their struggles as teachers. That's what turned them into victors instead of victims. And you have that same choice. You can allow your struggles to bury you, or you can let them build you into the person you were always meant to be. The path won't be easy. Rebuilding after being broken requires courage. It means facing your fears head on and refusing to let defeat have the final say. But every small step you take forward, every lesson you learn from your pain, brings you closer to your victory. Your story doesn't end at the breaking point. It begins again there. And every time you rise after falling, you are rewriting your future with strength and determination. The next time life breaks you, don't see it as the end. See it as a new beginning. Remind yourself that your struggles can be transformed into victories, that every loss can teach you how to win, and every setback can launch you into a stronger version of yourself. Pain will try to silence you, but if you endure it, if you learn from it, and if you grow through it, you will discover that you are unshakable. And when you finally look back, you will realize that the very struggles you once thought would destroy you were the same ones that prepared you for everything you are meant to become. Resilience is the invisible force that separates those who merely survive from those who rise and thrive. Life will inevitably bring moments of pain, loss, and failure, but resilience ensures that these moments do not become the final chapters of your story. It reminds you that the struggles you face are not what define you. It is the way you rise after each fall that truly reveals who you are. Falling is part of the journey. Stumbling is part of the growth, but choosing to rise again, with courage in your heart and belief in your future, is what transforms the impossible into reality. Resilience whispers in the silence of your soul, you are not done yet. Think of the people you admire most in history, in your family, or even in your own circle. Chances are, their lives were not free from pain. They did not walk smooth paths or live without challenges. Instead, they endured storms, faced setbacks, and dealt with disappointments that could have broken them. But what made them unforgettable is not their struggle. It is the courage they displayed to rise above it. Resilience is the common thread in every story of greatness, from the athlete who trains through injuries, to the single parent who keeps pushing despite exhaustion, to the dreamer who keeps going after countless rejections. The struggles were real, but they refuse to let those struggles become their definition. Resilience is built through choice. Every time life knocks you down, you are presented with two paths: surrender or rise. The first path may seem easier, to give in, to accept defeat, to let the weight of life crush you. But deep down, you know that path leads to regret. The second path requires courage, belief, and perseverance. It demands that you face fear head on and rise even when your body and spirit are weary. Each time you choose to rise, you grow stronger. Each time you stand back up, you prove to yourself that resilience is not something you're born with, but something you build. Courage and belief are the two pillars of resilience. Courage does not mean you never feel fear, it means you refuse to let fear dictate your actions. Belief does not mean you never doubt, it means you hold on to faith even when circumstances tell you otherwise. Together, courage and belief empower you to face struggles not as dead ends, but as detours guiding you to growth. With resilience, your failures become lessons, your heartbreaks become wisdom, and your obstacles become stepping stones towards something greater. Resilience also requires patience. Rising again is not always immediate. Sometimes it takes days, months, or even years to rebuild after a great fall. But resilience is not measured by how quickly you recover, but by your refusal to stay down permanently. It is the quiet persistence that keeps you moving forward, one small step at a time, until the light returns. You may not notice it in the moment, but each step you take in faith is proof that resilience is shaping you into someone unbreakable. The truth is, life will always test you. You will fall more than once. You will face failures, heartbreaks, and losses that seem unbearable. But resilience guarantees that none of these experiences will have the power to define you unless you allow them to. It is not about how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up. It is not about the struggle itself, but the courage with which you continue forward. Resilience means rewriting your story, turning pain into progress, and refusing to let any chapter end in defeat. When life knocks you down, and it will, remember this: your struggle is not your identity. What defines you is the strength to rise, the courage to face tomorrow, and the belief that no matter what, you will not quit. That is resilience, that is power. And that is what will carry you to victory. Life will always test you. It will throw storms at you. It will break you in ways you never expected. And it will challenge your very will to keep going. But every breaking point is an invitation to a turning point. Every fall gives you the choice to surrender or to rise stronger. And when you rise, don't rise just for yourself. Rise with a reason, with a deeper purpose that outlives material gain. Adversity is not your enemy, it is your teacher. It builds in you the kind of strength that comfort never could. Your struggles are not wasted, they are seeds of victory if you choose to keep moving forward. You may be bruised, but you are not finished. You may have scars, but they are proof of your survival. Remember this: resilience is not about never falling. It's about refusing to stay down. Your courage, your belief, your persistence in the face of pain will define you more than the struggle ever could. So when life breaks you, let it shape you. When life tests you, let it refine you. And when life knocks you down, rise again. Because your story is not over. The final chapter is written by the strength you choose to stand with today.